Good evening. My name is Joe Bandel. Welcome to Oak AI Story Lab, Lesson 4. Why less happens than you think. Welcome back to Oak AI Story Lab. Today we're going to talk about one of the biggest surprises that new AI filmmakers encounter. Almost nothing happens, at least not in the way they expect. When most people imagine a movie scene, they think about events. The hero fights the villain, the lovers reunite, the dragon attacks, the ship explodes, the kingdom is saved. But cameras don't record stories. Cameras record moments. That difference changes everything. A beginner typically tries to fit an entire story into a single clip. I know I did. They write prompts like, the hero charges into battle, defeats the enemy, rescues the princess, returns home, and celebrates victory. Then they generate the clip, and something feels wrong. The clip feels rushed, chaotic, artificial. The emotional impact is weak. Why? Because too much is happening. The audience cannot emotionally process 20 events in a few seconds, but they can process one meaningful moment. This is one of the first major shifts in cinematic thinking. Movies are not built from events. Movies are built from moments. Think about some of the most memorable scenes you've ever watched. Often, very little happens. A character pauses before opening a door. A hand reaches for another hand. Someone looks out a window. A lantern glows in the darkness. A single tear appears. Physically, almost nothing is occurring. Emotionally, everything is occurring. The audience is not counting actions. The audience is experiencing meaning. This becomes even more important when working with AI video. AI systems are often overloaded with action. The creator asks for too much. The model tries to satisfy everything. The result becomes visual noise. The solution is surprisingly simple. Reduce the action. Increase the meaning. Let's use the Hermit card as an example. What physically happens? A solitary figure walks. A lantern glows. A breath. A glance. That is almost nothing. Yet viewers replayed the clip repeatedly. Why? Because the emotional movement was strong. The physical movement was small. The card wasn't about walking. The card was about seeking. Seeking is the emotional action. The walking simply expresses it. This is an important distinction. The audience does not connect primarily with what the character is doing. The audience connects with what the character is experiencing. As creators, we often assume more action creates more excitement. In reality, more action often creates confusion. More meaning creates engagement. One meaningful gesture can carry more weight than 10 dramatic actions.
This is not control. This is permission.
When you create a scene, ask yourself, what is the emotional beat? Not what happens, but what is being felt. Once you know the emotional beat, you only need enough physical action to express it, nothing more. A scene about courage may require only a steady breath. A scene about longing may require only a glance toward the horizon. A scene about grief may require only an empty chair. The audience does the rest. This is one of the great secrets of storytelling. Trust the audience. They are far more capable than most creators realize. You do not need to explain everything. You do not need to show everything. You only need to create the right moment. The audience will fill in the story. As you continue creating AI films, remember this principle. The audience does not measure scenes by how much happens. The audience measures scenes by how much they feel. The stronger the emotional beat, the less physical action is usually required. Less is not weakness. Less is often where the magic lives. In the next lesson, we will build on this idea by learning how to break large actions into small moments. See you next time in Oak AI Story Lab. Good night.